Hello. Before I start, I just want to say I'm sorry I look fuzzy as fuck. This is a £15 camera I got off eBay, and I'm also using a mic that come with a headset. So, yeah. Apart from that, hello. Right. Fun fact about me: I actually did a video a while back. Well, recorded a video where I played a game on Steam called When the Past Was Around. It was a pretty fun game, recording coming to about 2.5 hours roughly, and I was essentially going to edit a long play of it. Unfortunately, I lost all my fucking game recording footage. Isn't that swell? So I can't upload that video anymore. I'm not going to go back and do it again because it's not a first time playthrough anymore. And I've also lost a shit ton of other games which I was planning to do. Um, that being Five Nights at Freddy's. I had that for Channel 42. I had just other bullshit random clips I was going to upload to Channel 42. So yeah, all them videos are gone. Um, so I'm starting fresh now. This is a new leap in my video making or gaming career. Wow, gaming, isn't that original? Also, actually, I should probably mention that OBS has been kind of a shit tip because my speaking and the way you see me aren't synced properly, which is bollocks. So yeah, I'm gonna try and fix that to the best of my abilities, but it still looks wank. So, what do I know about games? Fair bit actually, but there's one realm of gaming I like to step into, and that is visual novels. Now, does that make me sad? Sure does. But the few I've played, I've enjoyed. Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard of a game called Yumi and Her Love Story? Oh no, of course, because you were all sane. Me, however, I have played that game, and it is probably the best visual novel I've ever played. I learned about it through someone saying, "Oh, this was what DDLC was like based off," and I was like, "Oh, I gotta play some of that," and I played it, and it was really really good. Characters likable, music was beautiful. Uh, the psychological horror is kind of there. It was a wild ride, and I played through with my pal Owen, and it was a fun time. Um, but the company that made Yumi and Her, Nitro, I don't know if any of you heard of them. They've made a very popular character by the name Supersonico, I think that's it. Yeah, and I know they're popular because I see an action figure of them with their tits out at Forbidden Planet. So if they can get a figure like that in Middlesbrough, then yeah, sure. You've done something right. But we're not talking about Supersonico today. We're talking about another, I believe, psychological horror visual novel they published before Yumi and Her, that being The Song of Saya. The Song of Saya. Fuck it. Now, The Song of Saya, I don't know anything about. I learned a little bit of Yumi and Her before I jumped into it. I basically knew the story of DDLC before I jumped into that. But Song of Saya, I'm completely blind. I know nothing about the characters, the world, Saya. The only thing I know about Saya. I'm sorry if I'm gonna keep saying Saya and Saya different ways. You're just gonna have to get used to it, deal with it. The only thing I know about Saya is she's a playable fighter in Nitro's fighting game, Heroin Blitz. What's it called again? Oh, that's it. Yeah, Nitro plus Blasters Heroin's Infinite Duel. That's a mouthful. Fucking hell. Yeah, Saya is actually a fighter in that. Sure. And I did check howlongtobeat.com, and the game roughly runs in about 6 hours, which I don't believe all too much because Yumi and Her originally had a 6 hour playthrough, but that's probably because someone did the main thing and thought when the credits rolled, that was it. But it's not because the game wants you to go back and do the other routes to then lead to the really massive story. If you're actually interested in Yumi and Her, I did a college project going over the first like half of the game. Or third. Yeah, you heard me right. I did a video about an edgy visual novel for my college project. Yes, I'm fucking deranged, but I'm pretty proud of that video. I'm not gonna lie. It probably the most work and editing I've put into a fucking project, and it's not even done yet. It's like that's probably like the first part. I called it the first part because it was too big. I had to hand it in for a deadline, so I basically split it, and The other part, I've got the script still. I've got the footage. It's just I need to find the right time to get around to finishing that. But I will get around and do it. I will, but it's on the shelf for now. I can't be doing that. But I can play video games now, and the Song of Saya, I'm ready to give a try. So buckle in, boys and girls, because it's about to get fucking weird. Right, so we're on the Steam page for it now. Here it is in my library. I can see a little couple things in the community content, but we're ignoring that. We're going straight into this, completely blind. Let's fucking go. That's a good sign. Well, this is a brilliant sign! Are you shitting me? Why won't it fucking run? Why won't it run? God damn it. Alright, we'll be back in a minute. Alright, we're back, and I believe I've got it to work now. Partially. It's alright, this is a good sign. Yumi and her did this as well with the open screen. So, we're good. We should be able to get it to work now. I should actually bring this up. You see, I mentioned this in my video, but Yumi and her had a patch for the Steam version, in which if you put it into the game folders, it basically gives you the full version of the game. And it looks like this also has a similar problem, where the Steam version is cut, and you have to get the patch through Just USA. Sorry if I'm stuttering on my words. I'm trying to remember all this in my head, but it's funny to me because this game is significantly smaller than Yumi and Her. I think Yumi and Her was like 4 gigabytes, where this is like 600 megabytes, which is vastly different. But the patch for this one is also 600 megabytes, so it's come. The patch is just as big as the game here, so that made me laugh. Alright, now that's out of the way, let's start the Song of Saya, or, as it's also known, by the looks of it, Saya no Uta. I butchered that. Also, yeah, I tend to look like Slender Man because I haven't got a good lighting setup. I also look... There we go, good old Nitro, I haven't seen that logo in a while. Yeah, I look like this half the time. I try to maneuver myself, so I don't look like a bitch. This might work. No, it doesn't. This is the worst fucking video ever. Hopefully that works. So yeah, get used to games like this where I'm twisted my neck in a very uncomfortable manner. Oh fuck no, we're going back to the way it was. It has to be this way. Alright. Now that that's out the way with, so. Oh god, this is very hard to see. Have you seen this shit? CG library. Yumi and Her is CG library. Config. Oh, hello. This is cool. Movie skip. God, there's so many options. It's so cool. Sound. I'm gonna turn sound and stuff down a bit because games always tend to blast in my fucking ears. But it shouldn't be too bad. Oh, nice voices as well. Blur, grotesque CGs, dim grotesque CGs, blur and dim grotesque CGs. Right, fully display grotesque CGs. You can't blur it. That's censorship, man. That's what Seth MacFarlane told me about in his hit episode, PTV. The story is a work of fiction. The procedures and conditions described in the imagery, I assume it means fictional, not real. Alright, images are made to stairs and viewers. Please select how you would like such images displayed. Oh, okay. Do not modify grotesque default, obscure focus, lower brightness, obscure focus and lower... Nah, don't mod. I don't want to modify them. What the fuck? The wriggling's massive flesh blubbles. What in the actual fuck? Three such creatures sit around the table in front of me, slurping filthy sludge from their cups as they trade whines, growls, and sounds that cannot describe. That I cannot describe, sorry. I should notice I'm not the best reader. It's a shame because I've always thought about being a narration channel, but I can't read for shit. I can read, I just can't read well. I always stutter and mess up lines. But yeah. What in the shit? Oh my god! Not even been like 2 fucking minutes. I thought it would have eased me into this shit, but no, it's like... It feels like Goregrind album covers the second you step into it. And it really shows because it's in like 4:3 aspect ratio. What's up with that? This game was actually made in 2003, I think, so the aspect ratio does make sense now that I think about it. By listening carefully, I am able to grasp the gist of their conversation and respond when it is required of me. This is necessary to avoid arousing their suspicion. However, these creatures look, they are my friends. Apparently. Yo! I wish that I could still deny it, but I gave up on that a long time ago. Night after night, I went to sleep praying for an end to this nightmare, only to wake each morning to the same twisted hellscape as the day before. I know now that I have to blend in, that I have to act like one of them. Such has been... Jesus Christ, I hate this. Such has been my life these past 3 months. And so it will remain until the day I die. Charming. It sounds weird. hang on. I've turned my headphones up there and it sounds fucking mental. And I only turned it up a bit there as well. I could vaguely hear it. And then I put my headphones up like a tiny bit and that sounds grim. Judging by its tone, this one must be Koji, and the one next to him, squealing more than the others, is probably Omi, which means that the one next to me is Yor. I think I'm pronouncing that right, apologies if not. Though I can no longer see any trace of her once attractive features, I try my best to ignore the rotten stench of excrement that issues from her quivering flesh. I don't think this is, like, meant to be. I don't think that's, like, backward testing, it's just gross looking. I don't think that's meant to look sexual at all, I don't think so. Everything has changed, or almost everything. By some cruel trick of fate, my relationship to the world alone remains the same, as if an insane architect took the blueprints of my life and rebuilt it out of blood and gore. These monsters and I were part of the same college club. Imagine just sitting in college next to fucking this. We studied together, ate together, we even went skiing together every winter break. Now these are but painful memories of days that will never return. If only no one recognized me, I might have been able to disconnect myself from the world. It would have been comforting in comparison to believe that I had been abducted by aliens, or that I had stumbled through a gateway to hell. But no, this is beyond a doubt of the city where I was born and raised, the society that I was part of for 20 years, save that I, and I alone, can no longer see it that way. The world as I knew it is gone, I have no place to call home. How are we speaking this? Anyway, I can tell that whatever they're discussing is of no importance to me. I decide to keep quiet while pretending to listen, but just then... Hey, Minori! I don't know what the fuck it sounds like. What if a flesh beast says that as it swivels its bloodshot eyes towards me? What do you think? About what? I tried desperately to suppress my loathing and behave normally, but my hoarse voice ruins the attempt. We're talking about this your ski trip. You're coming too, right? A slimy hole near the top of a creature Rivs? Sorry, I had never to read that word. I probably have, I just can't Make it out. I know, I'm pathetic, I'm sorry. Rivers nauseatingly. I'm sorry, I can't read. Can't read weird words like that. Rives nauseatingly. As it vomits some semblance of words. That must be Koji's face, or what I would have seen as such 3 months ago. Unable to stomach the sight of it, I avert my eyes and give a neutral answer. I don't know. You have other plans? Not really. I can hear the voices as well. They're probably something cool. I wonder if they're like... I wonder if they're like gonna go out of the way and be screaming like we did in Yumi and her. I know I keep bringing up Yumi and her, that's because I'm basing it off that. Because, as I said, that game meant a lot to me. It was really, really good. These were my closest compliments. One of them had even wished to be more. How many nights have I spent crying in loneliness, lamenting the friends who no longer exist? In 3 months, my tears ran dry, and now there is only loathing left in me, surrounded by hideous creatures that I can only assume are Koji, Omi, and Yo. I spend each day trying to act as I always have. If I fail at this, I'll surely be sent back to the hospital. Only this time, I'll be locked away forever. No matter what, I won't let that happen. I mean, it's not like physical activity could affect your injuries, right? I'm not sure. I'll ask the doctor during my checkup. That's it. I can't look at... Oh, that's it. I can't look at them or bear their screeching any longer. I jump to my feet, desperate to escape. Hey, Fuminari! A spray of stringy slime from the cilia. I think that's what it says. Around its voice box flies at me. I try to cover myself, but too late to keep the slime from splattering across my face like the yolk of a rotten egg. I'm about to lose it. I want to grab a chair, a desk, anything within reach and use it to smash the life out of this creature, ending it all. I barely suppress the impulse. I mustn't let on that something is wrong, however they look to me. This is their world, I'm the outsider here. Like I said, today's my checkup. I've got to go. Struggling to put on a smile, I reach into my wallet and pull out the first bill I find, and put it on the table without even looking at it. I don't care about the change, I just need to get out of here. Now. Is there a fucking monster like that has any use for money? Later, I mutter hastily, and flee the cafeteria. I'm not crazy. What the fuck? What's happening? Oh, this shit's gonna get weird, I know it is. Hey, says... God damn it. Takahata Omi. Why don't we go somewhere we can skate for this year's ski trip? Fuck off, giving me hard names to read. Tsukuba. Sure. I assume that T is silent, so... Tsukuba Yo frowns at the suggestion. Skate? But why go on a ski... But why go to a ski resort to skate? Ha ha ha. Give her a break, Tsukuba. It's all she talks about these days. Totono Koji supports Omi with a laugh. Her impromptu suggestions are nothing new, and it's Koji's role as her boyfriend to provide backup. They're a good match for each other, Yo thinks. Sometimes it makes her jealous. I mean, she'd seriously never gone skating before. I took her the other day. Hey, is it really that strange? Not many people start skating in their 20s, you know. I was scared when I was little. Those shoes looked like big knives. Oh, hello. But you picked it up just like that? That's pretty amazing, Omi. It's a lot like skiing. It's a lot like skiing. You keep your weight forward and use the angle of the shoes to steer.
コウジにそう言われた
He
もんだ
made
か
it
ら
sound
さ
so easy. I
騙され
figured
た
I
と思っ
should
てやって
give
み
it a
たわけ
try,
よ
and
そし
it
たら
was
もう
fun.
楽しくって
So it was a date. Your feels a stab of envy. Koji and Omi enjoy their time together, as normal lovers do. That's certainly not something that should make her jealous. It's just that her luck in love has been bad.
ふーん
Welcome to my world.
私も
Well, I'm not doing myself any favours. I'm reading this now, aren't I?
スケート
So
やるとこ
I
ろ
can't say anything. Oh, well, I want to see Omi skate too. Yo keeps her voice upbeat, trying to cover up her disquiet. Is that what the word says? Disquiet? She knows that it's wrong to envy her friends. She, too, would be spending time... I sound like a fucking robot, I'm sorry. I just don't want to mess up sentences. Spending time with the man she admires, if not for the terrible tragedy that befell him. This is true misfortune. Her bad luck doesn't begin to compare.
だからさね
So, how about
今度の
it?
スキー旅行
How about
ついで
it?
にスケート旅行
If
に
we
しちゃえ
make the
ば
next ski trip
2
to
倍
a
美味しくて
skating
楽しいって
trip
わけ
too... Is that right? We make the next ski trip into a skate... Fucking hell. So how about it? If we make the next ski trip a skating trip too, it'll be twice as fun.
でもさ
But you can
スケー
skate
トは
at a
スケート
skating
リンクに行けば
rink,
できるじゃない
can't you?
わざわざ
Why go all the
スキー場
way
に
to
行
a
ってまで
ski
だ
resort?
から屋内じゃな
I
くて
don't
さ
want to skate
屋外
indoors,
スケ
I
ー
want
ト
to skate
こうや
outside,
って
on
湖と
a
かで滑れ
lake
るとこ
or
ろそ
something.
んな都合のいいとこ
That sounds fun,
どう
but
かな
won't it be crowded? While speaking, Yo sneaks a sideways glance at the young man sitting next to her. Although the conversation has involved only 3 people so far, there are in fact 2 couples at the cafeteria table. Yo's boyfriend, though there's still some doubt over whether he could be called that, is beside her, as silent and expressionless as a statue.
なあ、みのり。
Hey Fuminori, what do you think? Perhaps Koji sensed Yo's pain in his usual quiet and considerate way.
どう
This dude's pissed all the time. I mean, I understood why earlier. Apparently everyone was a disgusting Goregrind monster album cover, but even your friends are normal now and you're still pissed. About what? The cause of Yo's distress. Can I please get a different... Can I please... give me a decent name? Saki Saka... I'm butchering these so much, I'm sorry. Saki Saka Fuminori responds to Koji's sudden query with a vague mumbled question of his own.
いや、
We're talking about this winter's ski trip. You're coming too, right? Oh, so it feels like exactly like I did a minute ago. Is this the dude that was asking earlier? Maybe. Koji speaks gingerly as though probing a tumour. A few months ago, he would not have hesitated to rebuke Fuminori for his attitude. Their long acquaintance had forged a strong and honest friendship. But now... I don't know, Fuminori responds bluntly, his downcast eyes and sudden demeanour making it clear that he has no desire to break his silence.
他の予定でもあ
You
るの
have
か
plans?
いや、別
Not
に
really. Even Koji Fuminori's best friend cannot communicate with him, as before, what hope does Yo have of breaking through his shell? The scars left by the events of that late summer day are still deep all these months later. Each of the 4 bears, not... Jesus Christ, why? Why can't I read? Each one of the 4 bears them... Each one of the 4 bears them. Oh, yeah. I was thinking, where the fuck do bears come from? Jesus Christ. Each one of the 4 bears them, not only Fuminori.
あ
I mean, it's
別に
not
運動
like
するのが
physical
傷も触
activity
ると
could
か
affect
そう
your
いうわけでもない
injuries, right?
どうだろうな
Not sure, I'll ask the doctor
今日
during
の
my
水曜日
checkup.
先生に聞いてみる
As though... eh. As though that answer drained the last of his patience, Fuminori bolts out of his chair. Hey, Fuminori! Even Koji can't keep his voice from rising as he tries to stop Fuminori from leaving. Does he use that stringy voice box shit again? Imagine if he just did that and everyone's just like, yeah, that's just normal. Why not? Fuminori reacts swiftly, throwing his hands over his face as though to shield himself from something terrifying. Maybe some spit flew inadvertently from Koji's mouth, but that happens sometimes. Fuminori's reaction is beyond the pale. So, kind of, you just spat at him. I mean, that's the face I make when someone spits at me, so I get why. Like I said, Fuminori snaps, making no attempt to relieve the discomfort of his friends. Today's my checkup, I have to go. Even as he tosses money on the table to pay for his coffee, he acts like he's touching something filthy. Later. Fuminori stalks out of the cafeteria almost as if he's running away. Cloaked in heavy silence, the remaining three lower their gaze to the table where the abandoned 10,000 yen bill sways forlornly forlornly. Use normal words, please. Fuminori's coffee is untouched. Damn. So you paid for it and didn't even drink it? That's a waste.
やってられないわね。
I can't take this anymore, Omi says with a sigh, but Koji shakes his head reproachfully. Fuminori just needs a little more time. But it's been 3 months. What's with his attitude? I feel like I'm going crazy hanging around him. Hey, I don't understand what he's going through either. I don't think any of us can. Can you imagine losing your whole family like that? That'd screw anyone up. Oh, so his family's dead. It could have happened to anyone. A tractor trailer flipped over on the highway, crushing the Sakisaka. God damn it. I'm pretty sure it's Sakisaka. Family. Car. Into twisted scrap. What's it? Twisted Metal. I was thinking of the PS1 game. Damn, Twisted Metal was so fucking fun. Twisted scrap. They said it had been difficult to tell the bodies of Fuminori's parents apart. Jesus. For a while it had looked as if there was no hope for Fuminori either. It was nothing short of a miracle that he was able to leave the hospital and return to a normal life. He was worse when we went to see him in the hospital, remember? He was terrified of us. I'm so sorry. Like he didn't know who we were. He even had to be tied to the bed. He freaked out so bad. I'm just glad he's made it this far. There's still something strange about him. What's with the way he looks at us? It's not like we're even human. Wait a minute, so is that what he's seeing? Is he seeing them all as monsters, basically? But it's just normal. Damn. Dude's just metal as fuck. You just seen Goregrind now, he just goes home and listens to Anal Cunt. Cut it out, Omi, Koji says forcefully, probably less out of empathy for his friend than out of consideration for Yor. While Koji's kindness makes her happy, Yor also knows that she mustn't take advantage of it. Fuminori is the victim, just as Koji said. He's the only one who most deserves sympathy. Yor's feelings for Fuminori are her problem, and no one else's. She doesn't blame Fuminori for not giving her an answer after she worked up the courage to ask him out. In fact, she thinks even more fondly of him for taking the time to consider that she would even have had than she would have had he treated their relationship casually. Apparently the fact that Fuminori did not reject her was enough to make them a couple in Koji and Omi's eyes. They've had plenty of fun at Yor and Fuminori's expense since. Probably butchered that one up. The truth of it, though, is that he still hasn't given her an answer. After revealing her feelings to him, Yor didn't see Fuminori again until a week later, and then she could only stare at his broken body through the window of the ICU. and when he was finally released after 50 days, jeez, that seemed an eternity, he was somehow different. She's starting to doubt that he even remembers what she confessed to him before the accident. Now winter is coming. God damn it. Now winter is coming, and her feelings hang forgotten in the cold, lonely air. Good office. Could do with a fresh coat of paint. A clean. Apart from that, good office. Dr. Tambo Ryoko has never had any... Where did I read any from there? There's no any! Why did I say it? Dr. Tambo Ryoko has never had a more troublesome patient.
その後の経
Hello.
過はどうですか？
Well, I apologise for that. I did not mean that. It was a joke. It was a joke. Any changes since your last
いえ
visit?
別に
No, nothing to speak of.
これといって問題もなく
His voice is hard and flat, his words tossed carelessly into the air. It's like he's speaking to himself in an empty room. Ryoko is a surgeon, not a I know that word, god damn it. Psychiatrist, that's the one. But even she can sense the thickness of the wall he has erected between himself and the world.
吐き気やめまい、幻聴や
Any
幻覚
nausea,
だった経
dizziness
験
or
は？
hallucinations?
いえ何も
No. Well, Saki Saka. I can't... I need to make sure I'm saying it right first time. Even though it is literally probably a very easy word to say. While Saki Saka appears to be looking at Ryoko, his gaze is actually aimed a fraction down and to the side. He is only superficially engaged in the conversation, when in truth it does not interest him in the slightest. Perfect rejection. Realizing that she can't interview him like this, Ryoko sighs and sets her aside.
崎坂さん、
Mr. Saki
あな
Sasha.
たが当院で受けた処置は
Mr.
脳
Saki
神経
Saka.
医学の分野では世界的に
The
最先端
procedure
の治
you
療です。
received at this hospital was the
そのことはご存知ですよね。
latest in experimental neurosurgery. We explained this before, didn't we? Treatment of subdural hematoma through the use of micro machines. Nanomachines, son. Oh my god, is he gonna get nanomachines? Is he gonna be the new Armstrong? Is he gonna run for election? Yes, people run for election. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't like politics. A procedure available in Japan exclusively here at T University had been the only way to save Saki Sasha. Sasha? Where am I pulling the Sasha from? The only way to save Saki Saka Fuminori from a cerebral constitution that should have been fatal.
最先端で
With
あると
any
いうことは
experimental treatment, there is
まだま
always
だ
the
デー
risk
タ
of
も出揃ってい
unexpected
ない。
complications.
そうでしょうね
Of course, Sakisaka. Yes, I have right. Fuminori's lips twisted slightly in what might be a bitter or mocking smile, but it's gone before Ryoko can discern its meaning.
普通
Normally, I
こ
would
のことを
never
言って
say
驚か
anything
す
to
のは
frighten a
手術
patient,
後に重
but
大な
there
脳
have
障
been
害に起こ
reports
した
of
ケースが報告されています
serious neurological disorders
予後の診
post-surgery.
断は
We must
十分
continue
に
to
注意
monitor
し
your
なければなり
condition
ません。
carefully. Hence these weekly checkups, if only he would take them a little more seriously.
先週の MRI はどうで
Oh, we
した
finally get a different shot of him. That's not moody close-up. Cool. How was last week's MRI? Fun drinking game. Whenever I apologise or fuck up, take a shot, you will not be able to finish this you will be dead watching this video. Saki Sasha. Where do I pull the Sasha from? Saki Saka. Saki Saka. Saki Saka. Saki Saka. Where am I pulling the Sasha from? Saki Saka asks abruptly, as if to catch Ryoko off guard. MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. I could have said that better, but I already said it, so we're moving on. is a way for doctors to examine the brain in detail without reopening the patient's skull, surprised by Sakisaka's uncommon technical knowledge. Ryoko calls his profile.
そういえばあなたも
Recalls his
医者
profile.
の卵だったわね
Or, that's right, you're a medical student, aren't you?
先生が
The
進
kind
行
of
しているような脳機能
the
不
kind
全
of
は
anomaly you're
画
worried
像診
about
断だけで
should
も十
show
分に
up
わ
on
か
the
るはずで
MRI,
すよ
right?
ね
Did you find
いい
anything?
え
No. There was nothing, not the slightest hint of abnormal activity for a procedure with such a low rate of success. The results have been nothing short of a miracle. However, something still bothers Ryoko. She can't shake the feeling that he's hiding something beneath his guard. Exterior, something terrible. Weight on his soul, perhaps? But if it's an inorganic problem, then there's nothing she can do as long as he refuses to explain it.
大丈夫ですよ先生
I'm fine. I've been on my own for 3
今こうして病院の
months
外
without
でも
any
何不
problems.
自由な
What
く
could
生
go
活してい
wrong
ます
now?
問題なんてない
ねえ咲坂さん
Please, you know that
こういった難しい
continued
手術は
observation
予
is
告団の
required
原
after
則なの
these difficult
もう
surgeries.
少し私たち
You
を信用
have
して
to
もらえま
trust
せ
us
ん
a
か
little more.
そうですよね
I suppose you're right. I do want to
僕だって
trust you,
先生から
Doctor. Can I
信用して
come to you with anything?
ええ
Yes,
も
of
ちろん
course, Ryoko answers, smiling to cover up her irritation. It's your job, bitch! Sakisaka asked exactly the same question during last week's
じゃ
visit.
あ先週の
Well
話の
then,
続き
let's
なんで
pick
す
up
が
where we left off. Have you
先生
learned anything about
あれ
Dr.
からオーガイ教授については何か
Ogai?
分かりまし
Is
た
that what you'd say that? Unable to answer, Ryoko hardens the mask of her smile. As before, the patient is inquiring about someone whom he has no business of
オー
knowing.
ガイ教授の
Or
ことは
business knowing.
その
If you don't mind me asking,
あ
what
なた
does
の治
Dr.
療とは
Ogai have to
何
do
の関
with
係
your
もない
treatment?
信頼しろと言った
You
矢
just
先
told
に
me to trust you,
いきなり
and
隠し
now you're
事ですか
keeping secrets? Check! Ryoko is used to patients treating her with hostility. Some degree of paranoia is natural when dealing with a person whose mistakes could kill you. In Sakisaka, however, she doesn't see the anxiety that other patients exhibit. His demeanour is perfectly calm, almost like a detective questioning a suspect.
何分
We call that
だい
a
ぶ前にここを
psychopath.
辞められた方ですからね私個人としても交流があったわけ
He
ではない
left
し
this hospital some time ago. I never had any contact with him
辞め
myself.
た理由はご存知
Do you
なんで
know why he left? Yes, I
おそら
believe
く
it was
個人的
personal.
な事情
Ryoko
でしょうね
answers smoothly, her earlier hesitation gone, having decided that the outset to lie. She has no trouble doing so with a straight
それ
face.
にしても
But why do you keep
咲坂
asking
さん
about Dr. Ogai? Are
なぜ
you
あなたは
acquainted?
教授は今失踪中なんです
Acquainted.
知って
Did
ま
you
した
know that the doctor has gone missing?
いいえ
No. Ryoko realizes that her answer may have been a little too quick. She should have acted more
近
surprised.
頃教授の
I've
身内の
recently
人間と
become
懇意にし
close
てい
with
ま
a
した
relative
その
of
人
his.
から調査を頼まれ
It
た
was she who asked me to find him. A relative? Ryoko considers this with a frown.
オーガイ教授に縁
I
者の
didn't
方は
think
おられ
Dr.
ないはず
Ogai
です
had
ね
any relatives.
お
Oh, who told you that?
それは
I
噂
heard it from a
話
nurse, Ryoko replies, remembering that she just claimed to have no contact with the man.
なるほど
I see.
そんなこと
The
が
doctor
噂に
was
なる
famous
限りは
enough to have
オ
nurses
ーガイ教授は有名人だったわけで
gossiping
すね
about him.
まあ一風
I
変わった
heard
人だったみたい
he
です
was
ね
an unusual man,
なのに
but no one knows
誰も
why
彼
he
が大
left
学
the
を辞めた理由
university. Ryoko fell silent, knowing that this isn't a topic she can brush away with a smile. Sakisaka seems to have finally grasped her mood. However, as his strangely stiff tone softens a little,
先生
please, I have to find Dr.
僕がい
Ogai.
なくなったせい
There's a
で
girl who needs
行
him.
く当てがなくなり困っ
Can't
て
you
いる
help me?
それはむしろ
Isn't this
警察
something
の
the
領
police
分
should
なんじゃない
handle?
かしら
Although she makes it sound like the most obvious thing in the world, the suggestion is actually a gamble. If Ogai Masahiko's disappearance has becomes a police matter, then the university will be investigated. Everyone who was involved in the incident will be at risk of exposure, and of course that includes Ryoko herself. She knows, however, that Sakisaka is unlikely to go to the police. First of all, his excuse is obviously a lie. They've already made sure that Ogai had no relatives who might come looking for him, which is why they could bury the truth of what happened. But then, how did Sakisaka, a mere patient, learn about
咲坂
Ogai?
さん 私の知って
I'd
い
be
る範
happy
囲
to
のこと
help,
は
but there's
喜
no
んでお
word
教
from
えします。
been no word from Dr.
で
Ogai
すが
since he
主に
resigned
ど
last
こか
April.
長期の
I
旅
can
行
only
にでも
assume
行
that
かれ
he's
たか。
gone on an extended
そう
vacation.
ですか。
I see. Expecting resistance, Ryoko is surprised when Sakisaka backs down. She's still... Sakisaka, it's kind of just clicked in my head, but... Oh wait, no, it's Saya. I wonder when Saya is actually going to get in this. Hell, Saya might not even be a character, that could just be a word meaning something in Japanese. I don't know, I saw the girl and I thought, wow, this is probably going to be, oh, you meet a girl, she ends up being a fucking crazy bitch. Something like that. I guess not. But surely you gotta meet someone like that, because if she's in that fighting game, she's gotta be a character, right? I'm sorry I'm being impatient, I want to see the one I fight with. I say I fight with. I played that game for like 15 minutes just because I know Aoi and Miyuki were in it. They weren't even fightable characters, they were goddamn assist characters, goddammit. Anyway, she's worried about his condition and the mysterious link between him and Ogai is only making her more uneasy. But as long as he doesn't open up to her, there's nothing she can do. After a brief pause, Ryoko writes progress good on Sakasaki's chat for today.
咲坂さん、
About
それでは
next
来
week's
週の
appointment,
診
how
察です
does
が、
4 o'clock
今日と同じ
again
4時でも
sound? Before she can finish, Sakisaka is gone. He's dabbed and left. Oh, more Goregrind, nice. It looks like someone sprayed the walls with pig guts from ceiling to the floor. What colour should the walls of a hospital be? White, of course, and do the creatures of rotten flesh shambled around me? I'm sure this hallway looks just as white as it should. I know intellectually the walls are white. I know that the flesh beats are really human. I'm the one with a problem, and it's because I've accepted this that I'm able to lead something approaching a normal life. So he's seen all this shit. I assume this is what his parents look like? Or his family? Like, they were just scrambled and like... this like clusterfuck of organs and shit. I'm assuming that's kind of what's traumatized him and this is what he sees. And he's just a little edgelord now because his parents are dead. I don't fucking know. It's interesting, but I'm kind of getting into it. I'm from normal life. Even if the university's medical department is nowhere near as good as T University's, I'm still a medical student specialising in neurology. I have a basic idea of what has happened to me, though it's hard to believe. This isn't a pathological condition, it's probably some form of agnosia unlike anything that has ever been studied before. The flesh beast called Tanbo Ryoko. The flesh beast called Tambo Ryoko. She's a flesh beast. So he probably saw something completely different, probably similar to the ones we saw earlier in the game. But we got to see what she actually looks like. And that is something... I'm joking. I don't really mean that. She's not real. Said that other patients had developed neurological disorders after receiving the same treatment I did. So I guess that I'm another failure. It makes me want to laugh in that know-it-all doctor's face. That said, I don't blame the doctors who operated on me. After all, I do owe them my life. I know as well as anyone how low the chance of success was, and that I had no other hope of survival. It looks weird as fuck. It looks like a tech demo for like a PS2 game. No, to be like a PC, one of those old PC ones. I was unlucky, that's all there is to it. The point is that my condition isn't treatable, just like someone adapting to a hearing aid or wheelchair. I have no choice but to adapt to this nauseating scenery. Of course it's hard, it wasn't easy to resign myself to this fate, but now there's more than that, just despair. Even for me, there's a glimmer of hope. Keeping my eyes on my feet, I hurry home. Hopefully home looks alright though. Oh dear. I live in a quiet suburban neighbourhood in a house that's much too large for me alone. My parents, even unluckier than I was, died in the accident 3 months ago. I couldn't even go to the funeral for being in intensive care. I had to sell my father's business, but at least that left me with the house and had enough money to live on for a while. Well, that's just peachy. Of course, I'm sad, but the accident took more from me than my parents. In fact, being on my own has probably saved me. If they were still alive, my parents would have never allowed me to live with some strange girl. Oh!
おかえり
Welcome home! As I open the door, a bright voice greets me from the kitchen. The voice is beautiful and clear as a bell. Human. Its sweet sound washes the day's cacophony? I think that's it. From my memory.
ただいまさや。
I'm home, sire. Oh! Finally, we found her! It's her from the title of the game. It said it. It said it. My favourite part of the game was when I'm going to listen to the Song of Sire. Even the patter of feet coming down the hallway is music to my ears. Nowhere else in the city can I hear such footsteps, only in this house with Sire. So I'm... am I so privileged? I fucked that sentence up, whatever.
遅かった
There
ね
she is! That's the person I was thinking was going to be in game. You're late. I was a little
ご
worried.
めんよ。
Sorry, I had to stop by the
今日は
hospital
病院に
today.
あ
Oh, that was today. In her smile, in the inquisitive tilt of her head, is everything that I have lost. I was genuinely thinking there was like some weird like low buzzing and I just heard there was a fucking plane outside. Since my accident, this girl is the only person I've met, perhaps the only person in the entire world who does not trigger my cognitive disorder. True, her skin seems too white and the colour of her eyes and hair is probably different in reality, but even so her form is undeniably human. Turns out she actually is this fucking giant flesh monster. And it's not just her appearance and her voice either. As I bend down to take off my shoes, Saya wraps her arms around my neck and pulls me gently into her tiny bosom. I don't want to see that better. No. Her skin feels truly human, not cold or slimy, and from her hair wafts a sweet feminine fragrance. In all of the world, only Saya is pleasing to my 5 senses. And what's more, she smiles at me, embraces me. She knows that she is my salvation, and for some reason is happy that I need her. I keep butchering sentences. I guess it makes sense for me to be butchering sentences because the entire world and buildings in this game are fucking butchered. Butchered carcasses. If I had not met Saya, if I had been all alone in this twisted, filth-ridden world, I would no doubt have succumbed to madness. It is no exaggeration to say that Saya alone is keeping me
今日の
alive.
一日どうしてた？
What did you do today?
今の模様
Worked on the
もう
living
半分
room.
ぐらい塗り終わ
The
ったよ
painting's half
で
done.
今はね
And now I'm making your dinner, like I learned from the TV.
そうか。
Sounds good.
もうちょっと時間かか
It'll
りそう
take a
なの
little longer, can you wait? Sure, I'll do some more
僕
work in
は
the
今
living
の
room.
続きをやってる。
After I see the humming Sayo off to the kitchen, I step into the living room. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Love what you've done with the place. I realised one day that if the natural colours of the world were sickening, all I had to do was paint over them with colours that seemed pleasant. I went to the hardware store and bought every colour of paint that I could find. Then Saya and I tried different combinations until we found one that worked. And you chose vomit green. I mean, it's better than carcass, I guess. After painting the bedroom from ceiling to floor, I was finally able to get my first good night's sleep since the accident. When we first started on the living room, Saya, unsure of what to do with the curtains, just painted them carefully around the windows. Pardon me. Without a moment's hesitation, I tore the curtains down and painted over the glass itself. There'll never be anything out of there that I'd want to see, and as long as we keep the storm shutters closed, the neighbours probably won't think anything of it.
飯できたよ
Dinner's
こっち
ready.
で食べよ
Can you bring it up
う持って
here?
きてくれるか
Or bring it in here? As she enters the living room with a tray of food, Saya sniffs the air.
ペンキの匂
The
い
paint smell doesn't bother you? Now that she mentions it, I suppose the smell of paint thinner must be building up in this closed room. It doesn't really bother me though. There are far worse smells
そうやの
outside.
嫌いかい
Does it bother you?
ううん
No, I'm fine if you are.
海苔が大丈夫
Saya sets the food on the table. Unfortunately, neither its colour nor its smell is at all appetizing. Not that food anywhere else is any
いただ
different.
きます
Thanks, Saya. As as has become routine, I steal myself and methodically transport the food into my mouth. The taste is as gut-wrenching as I expected, but it's not Saya's fault. I'm sure she made it exactly like the cooking show said. It's just my taste buds that can't accept it.
美味しくない
It's not good, she asks hesitantly.
う
Well,
んまあね
no. Lying won't make Saya happy, she knows about my condition.
気にしない
Don't
で
worry about it, I'll make something different
ご
tomorrow.
めんないつも
Sorry, you always go to the trouble of cooking, but
いいのよ
it's fine.
こうやっ
If
て
I
い
keep
ろいろ
trying,
試してい
maybe
けば
I'll find something you
いつ
like.
か海苔でも
In my
美味しく
current
食べられる
state,
メニュー
eating is
が
not
出るかもしれないじゃない
is nothing more than an unwelcome duty. As much as I hate it, I need food to survive. If I stay alive, and perhaps one day, as Saya says, I'll be able to taste something delicious again. I met Saya, didn't I?
さやは食べないの
Aren't you going to eat? No, I already ate. And all the time we've been together, Saya has never once eaten with me. I don't know why she refuses to do so. It makes me a little sad. Still, I'm not about to push the issue. Not when she's putting up with all the problems I have.
そういえば
By the way, I asked about your
病院
father
で君
again.
のお父さんのこと聞い
パパの
You did? Dr. Ogai Masahiko is Saya's father, and her only living relative. Saya has asked me to unravel the mystery of his
やっぱ
disappearance.
り何も教えてくれない
They still wouldn't tell me anything. I get the feeling they're hiding something.
そう
Oh. I expected Saya to be a little more disappointed.
心配じゃないのかい
You haven't given up, have you?
ううん
No, Saya responds with an unreadable expression. It's not that. She gives a little shake of her head, then smiles at me once more.
あり
Oh,
がとう
once again.
海苔
Thanks for all you're doing for
私のため
me.
に
君はそれ
It's nothing compared to what you've done for me.
僕のためにして
I
くれ
thank
た
her for the meal and set my chopsticks down next to the perfectly clean plate, as I retched as the taste was thinking of the care. Sorry. As wretched as the taste was, thinking of the care that Saya put into it gave me the strength to finish every bite.
じゃあ
Is it bath time?
まあ
Yeah, will you wash my back
ま
again?
た
God damn it. Sure, ever since Saya moved in, it's been like having my own wife. I'll be honest, see that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Fucking bedroom. I'm sorry, is that the toilet? Is that the toilet right next to the bed? Saya, why are you so good to me? Oh no, I can't show that!
Everybody's talking about Totinos, Totinos, hot pizza roll.
Just back to this bedroom. Back to the green ass bedroom. Ugh. Well, that's over. Thank fuck. Saya collapses atop me, still smiling as I wrap my arms around her. The feeling of her soft, sweat-soaked skin and the warmth emanating her body reassures me that she is still here.
海苔
Fuminori, are you crying?
泣いてるの
I realise that my cheeks are wet with tears. Why, Saya, why do you get
な
so
ぜ僕
far
に
from
ここ
me?
までしてく
Go so far for
海
me.
苔
Fuminori,
わからないんだ
I don't understand it, I don't, but I'm losing myself
どんどん君に
to
惹かれ
you
ていく
more every day. I can't live without you, Saya. I wrap my arms tighter around her, praying that our bodies will melt together and never again be apart.
教えてくれ
Tell me, please, what must I do to keep you with me? How can I
他
repay you?
何をすればいい
Oh, fuck off! No!
Totinos, Totinos, hot pizza rolls. Totinos, Totinos, everybody's talking about.
Yeah. Now that that's done, I'm gonna call this part 1. I need to go rinse my eyes. I need to go to church and apologise for that. I did it before with you, me and her. I might as well apologise to the God again. But yeah, this is part 1. I'm enjoying this. I'm not expecting anyone to watch this. I'd be surprised if anyone watched it. But I'm probably going to continue this, because believe it or not, I've never made a full, complete game series, and I'm hoping to do it here. I know it's more of like a reading, but it's still a visual novel game, and yeah. But I'm hoping to actually get through this one and read it all. So yeah, thanks for watching if anyone did, because that's just what I have to say if I'm doing a Let's Play. Am I speaking meta? Ugh, cringe. So, yeah. Bye.
Why, hello there! If you'd like to watch another video, click here. And click here to subscribe for something new every so often. Please and thank you.